In this video, I'm going to talk to you about how to deal with negative thoughts and let them go. Hey guys, my name is Abby and welcome back to this video. So I'm sure everyone out there watching this, including myself, has experienced a negative thought because we're human beings. The issue becomes once you start becoming more self-aware and you learn these tools and you're feeling good and you go through moments that usually would really trigger you or set you off. Well, you get through those and you're like, wow, I really have the gold of the universe. I am untouchable. My spiritual awakening and evolution is growing, and these things that once bothered me no longer do. So I'm good. And then things happen. Then things change. Then something comes up in your life and it pisses you off, or it makes you feel ashamed, or it brings you feelings that don't make you feel good. And it's like, oh my God, what do I do? And a lot of times when a negative thought comes, it's not just one. One is manageable. It's when one turns into 2, turns into 4, turns into 8, and it just is like a downward spiral, and it can feel insurmountable. So I made this video today to help give you a little more insight, a little more structure. So when this comes up in the future, you have a little bit more better map to navigate it. So I think that the one big thing to remember is as you're getting more tools to become more self-aware, and as you're understanding yourself more and why you do what you do, and starting to uncover the belief system that you've been living on all your life, one thing you need to understand is those are skills. You're acquiring skills. You're getting better and better about understanding and evolving. Now, there are tons of different people in the world that have high-level skills. Let's look at sports, for example. People pay millions of dollars. People get paid millions of dollars to play a sport, right? Think of football. So a football player goes out there, competes at the highest level in the world, wins a Super Bowl, MVP, right? They're at the top of their game. They had so much training and so much tests to get to this point, and you think, wow, this person will never make a mistake again. This person is perfect. Since they've now gotten to that height, they'll never experience anything negative, right? Absolutely not. That's not realistic. That's not what anyone thinks. The next season, when they fumble or they don't do the thing they're supposed to do and they lose the game, right? They're not like, oh my gosh, what happened to them? And some people do judge others, but at the same time, you're like, well, yes, you can get to that skill level. Also, too, you understand when somebody messes up, right? That happens all the time, regardless of whatever skill it is that somebody has mastered. Think about golfers, right? They play the perfect game. Bowlers, you're like, wow, they will always throw strikes. They will always hit hole-in-ones for the rest of their life. No one thinks that. They think, wow, they really zoned in and they got in there and they executed. And they understand that if they don't do that in the future, that's not a lack of where they can go. That's just circumstances, and it's how they deal with that that's really going to be the biggest part about the experience. So the reason I use this example is for this situation. So you've had evolution, you've had these experiences, you've been growing, and then you have a setback, what feels like a setback. And I think it's important to distinguish that it isn't a setback. You're not walking along and then get pulled back. Teal Swan talks about this, how it is basically a spiral of evolution. You're walking up the ladder, but she has it so brilliantly done, and I'll link the video above, but she basically creates a circle, and the circle is a ladder. So as you're going through these things, you're climbing up the ladder, you're growing, you're evolving, you're doing all those things, but because it's a circle, that same situation might come up again. And it's not because you failed and you're sliding back and oh my gosh, it's because you get even higher skill level on this. And it's, again, all about how you choose to confront it, how you choose to deal with it and respond to it, and less about the things that are happening or what you did wrong to get you in this place, but okay, what is this going to teach me now? So I wrote down a couple different things that I feel can help you. So if you find yourself in this situation and you felt like you were going along and now you're just like in this negative spiral, the more thoughts you think, the worse it's getting and you can't get out, right? So the first thing you can do is take off your judgment hat, throw that on the ground, and put on your compassionate, loving, understanding hat, right? Put on the whole freaking robe and understand, okay, I'm a human being and this is where I am. This is difficult, and this is an opportunity for me to grow more, and really take the moment to feel what you're feeling, not judging yourself, not looking to see how you got here, what did you do wrong. It's not about being wrong. This is about where you are right now, and there's a reason where you are right now. Perhaps on the first time when you went in whatever situation it is, there's parts you understood, but you didn't see it from the whole view. So this is another perspective. And just remember to be compassionate and kind to yourself, that just as professional athletes and all these other professionals that have these high level skills, that the world knows them because of these skills, they don't always perform to the top, the very highest percentage of their potential. And that's okay. That makes the fragile state in which it is. So when those things do happen, you have even more to be grateful for, because it's happening and you understand that it doesn't always happen and it's not automatic. So you can understand how precious that moment is and how precious the opportunity to experience those things. The second thing is, if right now you're in that state and you're having a hard time and the negativity just keeps going, you're like, oh my God, Abby, what do I do? Just tell me the things. Well, one of the first things you can do right now, if you're feeling that and if you're in that moment and those chemicals of anxiety, anger, all that stuff, if that's flowing through you right now, let's go ahead and stop and let's do some heart breathing. And so heart breathing, it's very simple. Rather than breathing through your nose or your mouth, even though air will still be going through there, I want you to take the focus away from your nose and your mouth for breathing, and I want you to put it in the center of your chest, basically right in between your sternum. I want you to pretend that the air is coming in there and it's going out there. I want you to really take big, deep, slow breaths in and let them out. I want you to focus as much attention. If you're driving, please don't do this. You can do it to a certain degree, but this is ideally, if you're sitting down, you can pull the car over, you can lay down in your bed, somewhere quiet, somewhere it feels safe for you. And really focus on your heart center, really focus on that breathing and bringing all that energy there. And what that's doing is helping calm you down even on a physiological level and helping you slow down all those stress hormones and start sending you more coherence from your heart to your brain. So they're going to be communicating a lot better. It's going to help clear up those foggy thoughts and give you a lot more leverage and efficiency on what exactly is happening. So when you're looking to see, okay, let me assess the situation that's starting to feel impossible, it's going to give you the clarity to actually navigate that and use the tools that we already talked about you having, that you've demonstrated that you can do. And now you can be able to see, okay, I got a little away from there. I lost focus and connection with myself, and now that I have that, I can start seeing things a lot clearer light. So heart breathing is really going to help calm you down. If you're still having a hard time, even after doing that for about 5 to 10 minutes, I encourage you to take a walk. Do something where you're going to move your body, right? Even if you go to another room and you do push-ups, you just jump up and down. You literally, animals, a lot of times you see them shake out, right? A dog sees another dog, gets a little bit frisky, and then they shake their body. I encourage you to go to a room, a space that you feel safe, and do just like that. Get that energy out, shake it out. I've done this in multiple therapy sessions, and it's actually incredibly impactful. For one, all your focus is going on your body and you're shaking, literally shaking this energy out because it's in your body and it's trapped, and that's exacerbating the situation. So go to a quiet place, go to a safe space where you can literally shake out. How do you do it? You are the one who gets to choose how you do it, but it isn't just like, I'm going to shake it out. I mean, you are literally moving your body around and trying to get this energy out. Even doing that, it actually changes what my body feels like. There's more tingles going on. There's a little bit more energy flow. So you're trying to get all this energy that's stagnant and stuck and wants to go into that negative spiral, and you're going to shake it out. You're going to bring in fresh energy, just like blood in your system. It pushes out that old and it brings in the new, because those nutrients, that positivity, that nourishment from the new energy is what you need right now. So if you're still in that state, heart breathing, shake it out. If you can go for a walk, if you can do something physical to get your body moving, that's going to bring a lot better chemicals in. It's going to help support a little bit more positive thinking and a little bit more clear-headed behavior and potential. So once you've got to a point where you feel a little more grounded, you feel a little more calm, and you feel more at peace, start thinking about what triggered those thoughts. What was it? Was there a situation that happened? Did you find yourself in a familiar situation where it started inspiring these thoughts of old? Because neurologically, we have pathways. And so what we've repetitively done and thought, we want to do that. Sometimes I'll walk by the same place and I'll have the same exact thought. I was not on my mind, but because I think that thought when I walk by and I'm reminded, it just triggers that. And a lot of times you remember that they're stressful, right? The other thing, is it a situation? Is it a person that's triggered it? Is it a word? It could be so many different things. And again, it's not this person, it's not that place, it's what it turns on, right? It's like, okay, that is igniting that electrical, whoa, you're in this other reality, right? So oftentimes when you get triggered, it's not the person that's doing the thing, they're doing a behavior that's reminding you of this old, outdated trauma that still very much is pain. It's bringing you pain and discomfort, and it's negatively influencing your life. So the opportunity here, even though I know that it's hard when you get into this negative thinking, when you have that moment and you can say, okay, when that person said the thing, it really started making me feel like I wasn't good enough. Okay, well, when's the first time you ever felt not good enough? Well, when I was 5 years old, I remember my mom told me XYZ, right? That's how you can kind of go back and trust yourself. If you think, when's the first time I thought this? And it's like, I don't know. Don't panic in that. That is your subconscious trying to protect you. Some of these are going to pop up and they're going to be so easy, and others, they might take a little more time, but trust yourself in knowing that your subconscious will let it come through to your conscious awareness the moment and at the exact time you need it. So if it's not happening, just be patient. Meditate on it. I'll link above the Ho'oponopono meditation where you can connect with your inner child, who will 100% tell you exactly when it happened, because it's still alive inside of you. If this thing is giving you a strong emotional reaction, it's causing you to get in this negative mindset of someplace you don't want to be, it's because there's something that's unaddressed in your life, and this is a great opportunity for you to heal it and move on. Now, as you're going through that process, and step 3, which is, what triggered me, it's really important to ask, when is the first time I felt this? When did this come from? What is the birthplace and origin of this reaction, this trauma, this hurt, right? There's something that's going to come out. And as you start addressing those, it's going to help you heal. And it brings us to the 4th thing. So the 4th thing that's going to help you let go of this negative thinking is really identifying what your beliefs are. What are you holding on to keep that glued to you? So basically, the belief is holding that negativity to you. So if you believe that you aren't good enough, this thing's going to happen in your life, it's going to attract that so that it can bring the awareness to your conscious mind of, oh, you know what? I don't feel like I'm good enough. Why is that? Then you get to get in there and disassemble this belief to see, is this belief helping me? Is this belief serving me? If it is, keep it. If it's not, you get to choose to believe something different that's actually going to support the version of you that you want to live in this world today, right now. You have a vision of yourself and a version of yourself that does exist in quantum physics. Everything already exists right here and right now. So it's less about you doing all of these things and more about finding out, how can I emulate, how can I change my behavior to be in alignment with that version? Since it is happening right here and right now, it already exists. I don't have all these obstacles and all these things in my way. I only have beliefs that are gluing me to certain situations and holding me to this or that. You know, the belief, again, like I said, it is the glue that is holding it there. Once you decide to cut it off, that no longer is relevant to you. So I really encourage you to, as you go through step 3, which is like, okay, what is it that triggered me? How did I get here? What was that first domino? And then when is the first time I've ever felt that feeling? So those are huge ones. And then the last thing you need to do is, what would I have to believe to continue to perpetuate that experience? Again, if it's, that people are mean to you, right? You keep finding these situations. It could go to that you're not lovable, right? That could be the belief that you have, where you find these experiences in the world and then it just basically taps on that wound. I'm not lovable, I'm not lovable. And then you get to basically fuel that when you get into these negative spaces. And it could be such a multitude of beliefs, and whatever you're experiencing right now is uniquely yours, and you have every right to feel the way you do. That's the thing. You're valid in feeling the way you do. If you need external validation, here it is. For one, you don't. You get to validate yourself. And you validating what I'm saying, the origin of validation is you. So you can actually cut out the external party, which is me. But if you need it, yeah, you're valid, absolutely valid in the way you're feeling right now. And you get to choose if that validation is worth holding on to, that you need it, or you say, you know what? That whole thing, I don't need it anymore. I want to heal it and actually move on. So it's no longer relevant in my life at all. So negative thinking, it is hard to deal with. It can be. It's harder to deal with beliefs that are unaddressed and rule our lives, and we have no idea about it. So I encourage you to go through this process next time you have any sort of negative overwhelm, or if you're experiencing it right now. Please comment below how it affected you. Feel free to message me directly. And if you have any other questions, or if you want to talk about the experience you had with this process. I thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you have, please click like. If you have not already, please hit subscribe. Click the bell notification, which is going to let you know the moment I release my next video, which is every single day. I'll see you on the next one.